husband was a writer, and very sadly he died. He died of cancer very, very suddenly. He loved to write. He was never published, and his dream was always to be published. And I said, why not offer that opportunity to somebody else? And so we have a wonderful triangle. It's the D.C. Horn Foundation, it's the Yale Drama Series, with the Yale Repertory Theater and the Yale University Press. And we have this unique combination because we publish, we perform, and the Horn Foundation does this. I've been very, very fortunate because we've had 3 amazing judges. Our founding father, Edward Albee, took on the challenge in the very, very beginning and has been so dedicated with all his time. And then Sir David Hare also agreed, and he's been wonderful again. He's found us venues for the winners. We are now established on the other side of the pond, and we're back in the States, and we have John Guare. I mean, how does it get better than that? It doesn't.
Now, this is a prize which honors really good emerging playwrights. And I am so tired of going to the theater and seeing junk that whatever I can do to help a really good play get in front of people is something that I feel I should spend as much time as I possibly can doing.
There's something about finding a new writer. I think we're all right. I think playwrights, more than any other, because in a sense we are like lace makers. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, it's this weird profession that we have to write our novels in 99 pages. That it's a very collegial, it's a place where we all have helped, where we have been helped, and our obligation is to help the next generation to make sure that there is a theater. And so I just love I'm pleased to be a judge in this contest. I'm still looking for that thrill of reaching the box and taking out a new voice to say, oh, I've never heard this before. This is a pair of eyes I've never been asked to look at in the world before. I've never heard this voice before. I like to be there for that.
You know, it is not terribly frequent that you find playwrights being asked to judge playwriting contests.
Never.
That's infrequent. We know too much.
But 1,000 plays are submitted. And so it's very, very interesting to take a survey and find out. And, you know, the group that read them, I probably have 7 or 8 people reading with me. And so to listen to them talking about all these plays is really stimulating if you're as out of touch as I
Certainly
am.
the group of plays that we ended up judging, 30 some plays that we ended up judging. There's so much first-rate work there.
I think it's our obligation to keep the theater alive. The theater which was there for us when we came is even in this age of technical age, the idea of just actors in a room telling their version of the truth.
And it gets more difficult each year, the tougher commerce gets. And it's harder for good plays, really tough good plays, to be allowed to find an audience.
The fact of taking a room full of strangers and making them behave as one, it's a blood sport. It really is, how am I going to lick that audience? How am I going to get them tonight? And all the words, the vocabulary we have for it is, we kill them tonight, we wipe them out, or they slaughtered us. I mean, it's that relationship, the immediacy of that relationship between the event on that stage and that audience out there, like that, those bulls out there, and we're the matador. We're, you know, trying how are we going to whip them into submission and make them react and behave and think the way we want them to do at the moment we want them to do it.
People keep forgetting that some of the greatest 20th century writers in the 20th century alone have been playwrights. You know, Chekhov, Pirandello, Beckett, and others, extraordinary writers.
One of the things the prize has proved in its short life is there are plenty of good playwrights out there, and also that the young want to write for the theatre.
Hearing Grenadine read at Yale Rep was wonderful. I got a chance to work with the cast the day before as we rehearsed it in New York City, and then to go there in just a short time frame to have that come to life. And the actors did an incredible job, and it was a great audience, and so it was a wonderful moment.
It's never been as exciting for me as when I didn't know what one of my plays sounded or looked like. And so the bit where you're actually discovering what your voice is, which has nothing to do with your personality and nothing to do with your regular existence as a person, but your artistic voice, what that is, discovering that is incredibly exciting. So helping people and honouring them during that, or confirming them really is what you're doing. You're saying you're onto something here and it's a valuable voice. Well, that's very exciting.
I think it's important for there to be a space for us to continue to work. And prizes like this, I mean, not only is it recognition, but it also gives me something real that I feel I can move forward with some of these dreams that I have, you know. And so the dream of going back and doing work and creating space, that I get a little bit that says you can do this, and that there are people that believe in your work, that believe in your stories, that believe in what you're trying to do, and you can do this.
As a playwright, you almost need awards like this to gain momentum, especially as a young playwright. You need awards like this to even have a chance for people to see it. Theaters are bombarded with scripts, and there's just no way to get your stuff seen at all unless you have something like this behind you. And so, yeah, it's been tremendous from that standpoint.
I think that the play gave me an opportunity to kind of take my writing to the next level, because even after I won, I knew that I had like 8 months to make it even better before the Yale publication deadline. So it kind of raised the bar for me, and that was the most valuable thing, kind of like the challenge to just keep trying to make it better.
With the Yale Drama Series Award, there'll be a publication through Yale Press.
Having my play published was a wonderful experience. It was something I never expected.
And plays close, but books don't. Well, plays don't get published terribly often, except in acting editions, because most people don't read plays. Most people don't know how to read plays, and most people don't read them. So it's nice to have them in print.
Having Grenadine published with a foreword by Edward Albee was an amazing thing, because I think in theater sometimes there's a fleeting sense of the play's here and then it's gone, but obviously with a book it's there forever. And
having the opportunity for the reading, for the publication, it's all, I think, essential to emerging writers to have a space to develop their work.
Another good reason about why a play should be published in the elegant form that it will be that it is published by Yale Press is that it makes the play unavoidable. Somebody will find that play and say, "Oh, why haven't we done this?" I mean, having having a play, a manuscript, become a discrete, finite work object that somebody can pick up and say, "Oh, where have you been all my life?"
Being able to, every once in a while when you see something extraordinary, to say, "Wow."
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Fantastic.
If 1,000 people can read an announcement somewhere or be told on the phone or be told online that there's this new prize, the Yale Drama Series Prize by the David Horn Foundation, you say, for emerging playwrights, you mean it's not for somebody who's just been to Yale or Juilliard, or it's not, it's just it's a play that's just can come over the transom and it'll be read and it'll be acknowledged? Yes.
What's wonderful is there's no CV attached to a play, and I think one of the really good things about this prize is that we don't know anything about the writers. They don't attach a CV. We don't judge the play by what they've written before. We don't know, the names are completely unknown to us. We simply read the play and nothing else.
And don't know their ages, where they're from. It's nothing. I mean, there is no youth ghetto or age ghetto or race ghetto or sexual orientation ghetto. It's just the play. That's one of the strengths of it.
Yeah. It's from all over the English-speaking world, everywhere in the English-speaking world. And the more we can encourage people to submit from all over, the better.
We hope is to find, and it's been, extremely gratifying, new emerging playwrights that are looking to have their voice heard and that regenerate the theater.